Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبيه ومصطفى وبعد. My dear viewers everywhere, welcome to another live edition of our program Ask Huda. Our phone numbers for easy communication with us: area code 002 then 0238555131, and the other number is area code 002 then 0100546933, and the WhatsApp number for calls only, area code 001 then 34780600025. I'd like to bring to the attention of the viewers that also inshallah will be live on my page, that is M Salah Official at the Facebook page. So you can either give us a call for free to ask your question, or you can drop your question in the comment bar on my page. Also, for these phone numbers do only work during the live program. So we do apologize for not picking up the phone, because we don't have like a call center or somebody to collect the calls while we're not live on air. Meanwhile, of course, because we've been traveling for a while, we have a long list of backlog questions. So I'd like to begin by tackling some of those questions. Sister Rishma Rahman, her first question is: can we recite every morning the Hajj dua for intending to do Hajj the following year? Of course, you may recite dua anytime, morning and evening, and whenever even you get up from sleep and before going to sleep. A dua doesn't have a specific time or restricted time. As long as you're not in the place of answering the call of nature, you can recite any dua at any time. There is no prescribed dua particularly for Hajj, but if a person says, "Oh Allah, make it easy for me to perform Hajj," and he does that on daily basis, is that permissible? Permissible. A dua in general is recommended, and it is one of the greatest acts of worship. Hopefully, as a result of making intense dua, Allah the Almighty will make it easy for you to perform Hajj, inshallah, next year. Sister Saba Farheen, subhanallah, she's pretty much asking a similar question. How can we go for Hajj? Is there any dua by which Allah makes it possible for us to go for Hajj? A dua you phrase in your own language, in your mother tongue, saying, "Oh Allah, make it easy for me to perform Hajj. Make it easy for me to visit your house. Grant me a Hajjan Mabrura." So this dua is a supplication that any person can say in their mother tongue, and may Allah make it easy for all of you to visit His house and to perform an accepted Hajj and Umrah. Afroza Siraj, Sister Afroza, is asking, can we read takbir in normal days also? Well, I believe that she's referring to the ayah when Allah Almighty said, وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْدُودَاتٍ, and also لِيَذْكُرُوا اسْمَ اللَّهِ فِي أَيَّامٍ مَعْلُومَاتٍ, one of Surah Al-Hajj and one of Surah Al-Baqarah. So the remembrance of Allah, particularly with the takbir, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Wallahu Akbar, Wallahi alhamd, is prescribed during the blessed days beginning from the first day of the month of Dhul Hijjah, and it goes all the way until the 13th day, which is the 4th day of Eid. So there is general dhikr where you make takbir day and night. Abdullah ibn Umar, Abu Huraira, they used to go to the marketplace and just make takbir so people will join them. And then specifically during the Eid days and beginning from Fajr and until the Asr prayer of the 4th day of Eid al-Adha, after every prayer. So the sister, or Afroza, that's a sister, is asking, can we just make this dua during normal days? Of course. The best words and the dearest to Allah is to say Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. That's takbir. وَلَا حَوْلَ وَلَا قُوَّةَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. These are the treasure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted us. And these are referred to, the words referred to in Surah Al-Kahf, وَالْبَاقِيَاتُ الصَّالِحَاتِ, the ever remaining good deeds, saying the tasbih, the tahmid, the takbir, and the tahleel. So the dhikr generally is recommended throughout the year, but it may be emphasized during certain days, such as the blessed days of the month of Dhul Hijjah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Sister Samina from the United Kingdom. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Samina.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you guys hear me?
Sister Samina, could you raise your voice a little bit, please?
Yeah, I have a question about the hijab.
Yes?
Yeah, my question is it permissible for a woman to wear salwar kameez when she goes outside? And my second question is it okay if there's like patterns on it, as long as it's not too glamorous?
It is very hard to understand your question, Sister Samina. The voice is fading. You said, is it permissible for a woman to do what when she goes outside?
To wear salwar kameez.
To do what?
To wear a salwar kameez.
Pardon me.
You know the Punjabi clothes, salwar kameez?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand that.
You know the Asian woman. A lot of Asian women, they wear a kameez and a salwar when they go outside, the Punjabi clothes.
You mean niqab, to take off the niqab outside?
No, not the niqab. You know a kameez. You know, like in Asia, in Pakistan,
Correct.
a lot of women wear kameez with wide pants called the salwar.
The shalwar qamis.
Yeah. Is it permissible for a woman to wear that outside?
Okay, so you're asking about...
As long as it's really loose, not tight ones, like really
yes.
loose.
Okay, what else? Your second question.
And it's okay for it to have patterns on, as long as it's not too glamorous.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's my two questions.
Okay, I got your question.
Okay, thank you.
You're most welcome, Sister Samina. Sister Samina is asking a very important question. You know how the Pakistani women, similarly, I mean, they wear what is known as shalwar qameez. The shalwar refers to the pair of pants, but they're very loose. And the qameez is similar to the thawb, but it goes beneath the knees, so up to the shins. That is permissible provided that the pants or the shalwar is long, loose, and also it is not transparent, because we're all familiar that many women, they wear shalwar qameez, but the fabric is see-through, so you can tell what she's wearing beneath that. That is absolutely forbidden. Okay, if a woman is wearing such a Pakistani outfit where shalwar qameez is opaque, is not see-through, and it is loose, it doesn't show what is beneath it, and also it is long beneath the knees, and the pants are long and loose, and then she's wearing the khimar or the hijab or the scarf, that is permissible. In the opinion of the vast majority of the scholars, covering the feet is also required, so that she should be wearing a pair of socks. Thank you, Sister Samina. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Sally, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ask Huda.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh Muhammad Salah. I hope you're doing good and welcome back. May Allah accept the Hajj from you.
I mean, thank you, and same to you, Sister Sally.
Right now I have a question. I recently bought a product made out of collagen. It's for cosmetics, a face mask. So right now I know it's sold in lots of Muslim countries like Saudi, Pakistan, Egypt. But I'm not sure like exactly where the collagen is derived from. If it's, I don't know where it's derived from. I contacted the company to ask if there's any pork derivatives or any this stuff, but no one's been answering me until now. So is it okay if I can use it knowing that this has been...
And after you contacted the company, what did they say?
I've contacted the company to know if there's any pork used
Correct.
in it.
What did they say?
But no one's been answering me until now.
And the product is produced where?
It's produced in Hong Kong, but the person in charge, he's a Muslim. His name is Muhammad something.
Okay.
But the problem is, I'm saying, can I use it, because it's been sold in a Muslim country?
Well, you're not blameworthy if you use it, since it does not specify, as you know, that any product in any of these countries, including Hong Kong, it must has in the label not only the active ingredients but also the inactive ingredients. So gelatin, for instance, is an inactive ingredient, and it must be listed so that the consumers they know whether it is okay with them to use this or not. So if it doesn't specify, it is permissible, but you're making an effort to contact the company. Thank you, may Allah bless you, and it is halal to use unless it is proven otherwise. Also, I'd like to bring to your attention a couple of things, Sister Sally and all the viewers. It should be the responsibility of the Muslim countries. They have endowment ministers, they have religious authorities, they have the health ministry, and it is their responsibility to make certain that whenever something is brought into their countries and it is introduced to their Muslim customers, it must be halal. And I shouldn't be worried about it. And making a special effort in order to verify that, it should be actually the duty of those Muslim countries, all the countries that you've mentioned. But if it doesn't specify that it has anything that is haram and you try it, then go ahead and use it. It is permissible, inshallah, Sister Sally. Kazaleen Ahmad, let's take this call first. Assalamu alaikum. Afdal from Pakistan, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello?
Assalamu alaikum, Afdal.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam, Sheikh. I have a question concerning a job.
Okay.
I got a job offer for an IT firm, that's information technology, but their firm, the compound on which it is located, is owned by an alcoholic company. So I want to know if I could take the job or not.
Okay, Afzal, I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
The job offer or the job description, you will be serving what? Servicing what?
No.
You'll be servicing what? You said in a compound. Forget about it is
Okay.
owned by an alcohol company. The IT business you'll be doing for what? For whose benefit?
Like developing software for other companies, like shipping companies and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I will answer you and I will assume I understood your question and your comment as well. If your IT business is in a compound and it is halal, but it happened to be owned by a bank, a commercial bank, or by an alcohol company, but you're not servicing them, you're servicing another business which is halal, then your job is halal and your earning is halal. Once you start servicing the alcohol company itself and your IT business, okay, or programming business will do any services to the alcohol company, then it is definitely haram. It's as simple as that. وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. We're not supposed to take part in anything which is forbidden. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Muhammad from Italy, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ask Huda.
Thank you very much. I have a question. I work for a post office as a network security engineer. My job is to protect the websites from cyber attacks. The post office has, apart from the post office services, it has also other activities like online shopping, banking, and insurance. Is my earning halal or haram?
Okay, got your question.
Yes,
Well,
thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad. A person may work in a field where the work is mixed. The halal is a halal earning. If you have to service or offer any service to anything which is haram, you're taking part in the haram. So the person must distance himself from selling or servicing what is haram. Is it halal to work in McDonald's or Burger King or any of the fast food stores? As you know that many of the viewers said it is halal to eat from the meat in these countries because vast majority are Christians and Ahlul Kitab, etc. Oh, okay. So in this case it is permissible to work, but they also offer and they sell bacon and they sell pork. It's not permissible to sell that part. And if you sell it, you're liable for that part. Okay? So the entire job is not haram, but that part which you service is not permissible. You can request, I would like to work in an area where it doesn't sell haram. Of course, we're saying that because you live in a non-Muslim country. You work in a Walmart, for instance. Walmart, they sell tobacco tickets, tobaccos, they sell lotto tickets, they sell liquor, wine, and beer, and they sell Cheetos, Fritos, chips, and meat, and milk, and eggs, and sell clothes. So if I work in the department store, appliances, is my salary halal? Yes, it is halal. But the store, they have another department, they say it doesn't matter. What you're selling and what you're servicing is halal. Because literally it is impossible to get 100% halal job. So, unless if you are a business owner, okay, so if you work in a big store like that, and the department that you're servicing is halal, then your job is halal. If you have to do both, no, do not take it because you're servicing what is haram. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shujat from India, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Sheikh.
How are you, brother? Could you raise your volume, please, a little bit?
Hello, Sheikh. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you. Maybe we have a problem here in the speaker. Can you guys raise the volume a little bit, please? Go ahead.
Okay, Sheikh. How are you?
It works, alhamdulillah. Go ahead, Shujat. How are you? Shujat, in Hajj, we were praying for the people in Kerala. May Allah have mercy on them. With the death toll rising to approximately 500 people, we feel very, very sorry, and you guys were in our dua. May Allah make it easy for the people who've been affected with the flood in Kerala.
Hello, Sheikh.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
First of all, Sheikh, may Allah bless you.
I mean, same to you.
Okay, Sheikh, I need an advice from you on how do I control my sexual desires. Because it's really becoming an issue in my life.
Are you married?
I personally think that having... no, I'm not.
Why not?
I personally think that having control over one's sexual desires is getting very difficult nowadays.
I got
Anyone
that.
I meet with,
I got that,
my
Shujat.
friends,
I'm asking you,
they
why
have-
aren't you married yet?
Because I'm just 18, Sheikh.
I'm sorry?
I'm just 18 years old.
Are you saving to get married?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I will answer you, Shujat.
Anyone I meet with, whether they are my friends or anyone.
How
they
old
wanted
are
to
you?
Talk about this
Shujat, you
filthy
said.
things.
Shujat, how old are you?
Hello?
Yes. How old are you?
I personally think that in today's Muslim Ummah, majority of Muslims are getting targeted by this. So I need an advice from you on how one should totally get rid from his sexual desires and to stay immune to these type of sins as in totally Ummah. And Sheikh, please pray for me, especially pray for me, Sheikh, that I get immune to this type of situations.
Can you hear me now? Shujat?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
18 years old. Okay, I got your question. Thank you. So Shujat is asking how can one resist or overcome the sexual desire. We don't want to overcome the sexual desire. We want to control it so that it will be dispensed in a halal way. So that when you get married, you do have sexual desire, but towards your lawful wife, not that you don't have a sexual desire. When Allah the Almighty said in Surah An-Nur, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّ, He didn't say أَبْصَارَهُم. He said مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِم. Command the believing women to lower some of their gaze. You need to look at your wife. You need to enjoy her beauty. And similarly in the following ayah, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ لِلتَّبْعِيد. So not generally speaking that you have to keep looking down whenever you see a woman. No. Enjoy looking at your spouse and the wife. Enjoy looking at your husband. Even in the nude, this is permissible. But when it comes to a woman who is not lawful for you, lower your gaze. Let me take a few more phone calls and inshallah I will get to answer your question, Shujat. Sister Rayyan from the USA, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh Salam Mabruk, Hajj Mabruk.
Ameen, ameen, ameen. Thank you so much, Sister Rayyan. May Allah bless you and your family, and may Allah grant you all an accepted Hajj.
Ameen. Brother, I have a question. If I forget something in Salah, okay, let's say I forget ruku and I went to sujood. Should I stand up again and do the ruku and sujood, or should I count this rakah invalid and do one more? Because the other, I heard that if you are still in the same rakah, you can go back and do the ruku. I don't know, and because it's a rukun, should I go back or no? Please clarify this thing. And if I see somebody doing something wrong, doing 2-3 sajda or forgetting something, should I let them know in the salah they are still in the salah, or let them figure out on their own?
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
You're most welcome,
Thank
Sister
you.
Rayyan. Akhi Shuja'at, let me tackle Sister Rayyan's question first because it's easy and quick. So brothers and sisters, if somebody in the prayer somehow forgot about the ruku', bowed down, and they want to make sujood, what are they supposed to do? Do they just skip this whole rak'ah and make an extra rak'ah, or can they just retrieve the ruku' and go back to make ruku'? Okay, in fact, if you forget any pillar of the prayer, you should go back to do it and resume in the same order, as long as you did not reach the same pillar of the following rak'ah. Let me break it down and make it easier for you. The sister gave an example of ruku'ah. I forgot, and after I finished the recitation, I said Allahu Akbar and I went for sujood. When did you remember? I remember in the second sajda. Stand up again and say Allahu Akbar and go for ruku'ah, then standing, then sujood, sajda, sajda, then resume your prayer as regular, and by the end pray the 2 prostrations for forgetfulness. That's it. And as a matter of fact, I remember after I stood up for the second rak'ah, no problem, you will do the same. Make ruku' and resume. Only it becomes invalid to go back if you reach ruku' of the next rak'ah, khalas. Then the previous rak'ah is invalid. So you skip this rak'ah and you make an extra rak'ah, because the rak'ah which you forgot one ruku' in it has elapsed, finished, and it was missing one pillar, so it doesn't count. Again, if you miss any part of each rak'ah, as long as you did not come to the same part of the following rak'ah, you remembered it, go back and make it up, then resume as usual. And by the end, pray the 2 prostrations. But if you have already reached ruku' of the second rak'ah, then forget about the rak'ah which you missed its ruku' and continue and pray another rak'ah, and by the end pray 2 prostrations for forgetfulness. I cannot make it any easier. I hope inshallah you guys got it. Habibi Shuja'at, do we have another call? Okay, they're asking me for a short break, but I promise to answer you, Shuja'at, before the break. So Habibi, there are things that you need to do. Number one advice is to get married. The best solution for the hypersexual activities is to get married. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ prescribed for all the youth, men and women. He said, if you can afford to get married, get married. فَإِنَّهُ أَغَضُّ لِلْبَصَرِ وَأَحْصَنُ لِلْفَرْجِ. Because it is best with regards to helping you to lower your gaze and guarding your chastity. Because once you satisfy your sexual desire in lawful fashion, you don't have that desire to look around or to see something which is forbidden. I mean, it assists you, and it is the greatest help to lower your gaze. What if you cannot? Well, the Prophet ﷺ said, then resort to fasting, because fasting diverts your attention from the sexual desire to the desire of eating and drinking, and it increases your piety and your righteousness. It distances you from the sexual desire. But this treatment is not a treatment, and it is not a permanent treatment. This is, you can call it some sort of to suppress that desire, to remind you to be God-fearing, to grant you patience, some sort of analgesic, provided you work on trying to get married. Then there comes the role of the entire community. In Surah An-Nur, Allah the Almighty says, وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ وَالصَّالِحِينَ مِنْ عِبَادِكُمْ وَإِمَائِكُمْ إِنْ يَكُونُوا فُقَرَاءَ يُغْنِهِمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. أَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ وَالصَّالِحِينَ. Those who are still single among you in the community. You know that Shuja'at is single. He's 18. 18 is a marriageable age. Some people don't have this desire because they are determined. I want to finish my MD, then get my master's and PhD in a specialty in orthopedic surgery or whatever. Khalas. He doesn't think about that. Enjoy it. Alhamdulillah. Pursue your career as long as you don't have this problem. But a person who is really active in this regard, sexually active, and beginning at the age of 18 or even younger, he cannot wait, and he's afraid that he may end up committing a sin. Get him married. He doesn't have the means. We have this merchant and this businessman and these guys who compete in building masajid. Brothers and sisters, it is more important to look at those youth who want to get married to guard their chastity and they cannot afford it. Could we give them from our zakah? Yes. We cannot pay zakah towards building masjid or paving road or building a hospital, but we can give zakah to a person who wants to get married and he cannot afford it. A girl who wants to get married and her family don't have the means. So assist those people. Ankihu, help them to get married. Then he said, إِن يَكُونُوا فُقَرَاء. In case that they're poor, يُغْنِهِمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. So one of the means of gaining riches and being financially self-sufficient is to get married. Unlike what most people think, that when I get married, I find it difficult to maintain my life, to pay my bills. You want me to get married? Allah says, if they're poor, Allah will enrichen them out of His bounty. And indeed, Allah is sufficient for all the needs of His creatures. And He knows who needs, so He grants. The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, there are three people whom Allah the Almighty promises to assist. ثلاثة حق على الله عونهم. And He mentioned one of them, وَالنَّاكِحُ يَبْغِي الْعَفَافِ. A person who wants to get married in order to guard their chastity. So the community, the Muslim community, has a very important role to play in this regard to help them out to get married. And you too, work hard to get married. Okay? But until this has been achieved, pray in your sujood. Ask Allah to guard your chastity, to help you to lower your gaze. He just reminded me with this young man at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he came. People thought that he is very blunt. He said, "O Prophet of Allah, please permit me to commit adultery. You know, O Prophet of Allah, I'm willing to pray at night, to fast, to give, whatever. But when it comes to the sexual desire, I cannot resist it. I'm very weak." So the Prophet ﷺ, they didn't get mad with him. Rather, he said, "Come close." And he started with him this interesting dialogue when he said that, would you like it for your mother? I mean, would you like to see your mother committing adultery with somebody? He said, "Of course not." "Your sister? No. Your aunt? No. Your wife in the future? Of course not." I said, "Son, similarly, no one would like to see his mother or sister or daughter or wife committing adultery. So if you ever choose to commit adultery with anyone, it's going to be somebody's mother or daughter or sister. You know, you don't want to do that. Come close." Then he placed his right palm on top of his chest and he prayed for him. He said, "Allahumma ghfir dhanbah, wahfaz farjah, wa tahhir qalbah." Oh Allah, forgive him his sins. Oh Allah, guard his private part and his chastity. Oh Allah, purify his heart. So this young man said, after the Prophet ﷺ made this prayer, subhanallah, there was nothing much more hated to my heart than committing adultery. Dua, make dua, brothers and sisters. Same to the sisters who have, you know, we often receive these questions from the brothers, and the sisters are kind of shy, but they are not any lesser than the brothers or the youth, the boys in this regard. Both are the same, especially with the mixed schooling, especially with the social media exposing pictures, videos, and images which excite the person to think about what is forbidden. May Allah protect and guide all of us to what is best. We'll take a short break, then inshallah I'll be back in a few minutes. Please stay tuned.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Parenting and child education set forth challenges and opportunities for parents, teachers, and children to make up a successful society. Do our schools teach critical thinking properly? Do our children have the necessary skills growing up to make proper decisions that they'll need in the workforce? Do parents and teachers speak the same language? For all this and more, join me, Abdul Azim Saeed, and guest Dr. Mamdouh Muhammad, an expert in education, in our special new series, Back to Basics. Stay tuned, inshallah.
Our guide is the Quran, our religion is Islam. 5 noble pillars upholding what is virtuous.
It's calling us to establish this hiwar, this dialogue between ourselves and between the non-Muslims, and to use hikmah. The waves are coming, you're trapped, fitna is coming everywhere. How can I get out of this fitna that I'm in? Send me the rope. Why did Allah send the Quran to you, to all of mankind? As a source of guidance, as a kitab, a blessed book to be reflected upon. And secondly, the ba'ath, the resurrection. Prepare yourself for Yawm al-Qiyamah, when you're going to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is aqeedah, this is the core of aqeedah, this is the focus of the Quran. They want these dialects and these slangs to spread so the Arabs themselves can't even understand the Quran properly. This is a choice you have to make now. Because once the angel of death comes to you and takes your soul, there's no turning back, there's no other choice.
Pilgrimage and charity. To make the testimony is the base of the faith, and the fast and the prayer, the pilgrimage and charity.
From that, I've really come to understand that to be a Muslim, to be someone who says they've surrendered and submitted to the will of God, is to be in harmony with everything around you and to be a benefit to it.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Creator, He gave us a life plan. He told us what to do. He gave us, goals and what He expects from us.
It has roots in Islam because the first man who was created, Adam, he was neither a Jew or a Christian, but he submitted himself to God. Abraham, he didn't submit to anyone in creation. He didn't even hear in any of these religions. But when he was told to do what? Submit to the will of God. That's Islam.
Attached to his preconceived notions.
Yes.
And if he looks with an objective eye and an open heart, he'll see it. Unless Allah, for some reason, has something over his eyes because of something that we don't know is in his heart.
You had, from 1980 to 2005, you had the FBI data report showing that, now from all these years, that only 6% had any links to Islam. 94% were people who had nothing to do with Islam.
This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. We have a caller from Canada, Sister Nadia, and I would like to tell the viewers that those who are watching us on the page, they are working on the sound currently, inshallah, to raise the volume, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Nadia. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh, how are you?
Doing fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking.
Sheikh, I have a question that when we go to the salon for cutting our hair, I don't know about men's salon, but I'm talking about women. So they ask us to donate hair to the cancer patient. If you cut your long hair to the short, they ask us the rest of the hair which they throw into the waste. So they ask us to donate it to the cancer patient. Is it allowed in Islam?
Okay, got your question, Sister Nadia from Canada. Okay. First of all, may Allah give shifa to all those who are sick, and special dua to those who are suffering from cancer. May Allah make it easy for them. We all feel their suffering and their sorrow when they lose their hair. May Allah restore their hair, restore their health, and make it easy for them. We are not allowed to wear wig for men or women in Islam, but there is an exception. If a woman lost her hair during the chemotherapy and she is really embarrassed to look like that before her husband, so it is okay. But I wouldn't recommend, nor would I say it is permissible for me to donate that hair, because you never know where it will be used. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam. Assalamu alaikum. Umar from Bahrain, assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. والله شيخ أنا أحبك لله والله.
أحبك
I
الذي
love you
أحببت.
for the sake of Allah.
أحبك الذي
And
أحببتني فيه.
I pray you are all okay. Think Hajj, Alhamdulillah, may Allah accept all our
Ameen.
endeavors. Ya Rabb.
Ameen. 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 Thank you, Umar. Go ahead.
Sheikh, I have two questions.
Go ahead.
I have two questions, Sheikh.
Yes.
One, it's regarding the teachers of teaching Islam. Yani mostly, I'll ask regarding from our side in Africa.
Mm.
Because what happens, people who, for example, someone can have a teaching from where he's getting the proof, maybe weak or strong hadith, but what happens, they come with the rulings in public.
Mm.
And after they come out to find out that what they were teaching, it is not yani, the correct thing.
Mm.
So if someone who is informed about what they were trying to teach people, yani, maybe they know or they don't know, ignorantly, yani, teach people something which is wrong or which is not valid in Islam.
Mm.
My question here is, if someone come out in public and say that with a good heart, thinking that because if someone wants to know the truth, he will not say, no, this one is not raddi, he's trying to provoke someone or another sheikh in a bad way, but he wants to show the people that this is both of what, for example, some people in Africa, they're teaching about music, that there is some music which is halal and which is haram.
Mm.
You know? In this case, is it okay to come out in public to tell that this teaching, it is not valid in Islam, or I have to go and I talk to that sheikh who was trying to teach the public about it?
Okay. Got your question, Umar. Barakallah feek. Thank you so much. Barakallah feek. The madhahib, or the different schools of thoughts, is something that we dealt with since we started Huda TV. And I was very keen to film a program by one of our colleagues about the evolution of fiqh, in order to make it easy for the viewers to comprehend the fact that the madhahib do not represent different sects, nor are they different religions. And the founders of the Sunni schools of thoughts, whether Imam Abu Hanifa, or Imam al-Shafi'i, or Imam Malik, or Imam Ahmad, and also Ibn Hazm al-Zahiri, and others, these guys were Muslims, following the Sunnah, were very righteous people, and were very keen to make ijtihad to find out the truth. Sometimes the reference is available and it is very obvious. Alhamdulillah, they go by the reference. And to some imams, the reference wasn't available. So they made ijtihad, or in the light of some athar. They heard that this companion said so, or this tabi'i said so and so, so they would take this as a reference because that was the only reference. For others who are living in Medina, they followed strictly the reference, the hadith. So whenever there is a hadith, they said that is the reference, that's it. They verify the authenticity of the hadith, they use it as reference. So we come up with the different schools of thoughts, and we come to one mas'ala and say the vast majority of the scholars or the Muslim jurists are of the view 1, 2, 3 that it is haram. For instance, as you're talking about the musical instruments, with the exception of daf. Why? They list a long list of references in a hadith. While others, they may list their view in the light of their ijtihad. Our role as seekers of the truth is to recognize what is more sound. So if we have something true and more true, sahih and asah, to that extent, we should adopt al-asah, the most authentic. Not to shop for a concession or an excuse and to say, but I'm following this madhab and I act accordingly. Because if you're following the truth, the founder of this madhab and its scholars all were seeking the truth and the facts. And if they have the same evidences that we all have, they would have yield. And I will give you an excellent example because this is a question just somebody asked, subhanAllah, but after this call. Assalamu alaikum. Ridwan from Canada. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sheikh. How are you?
I'm doing fine, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking, brother Ridwan.
Hello?
Go ahead, I hear you.
Yeah, so Sheikh, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I can hear you.
Okay, Sheikh, I have two questions. Number one is donating blood is allowed for Muslims, and as the same way as the donating organ, if once somebody passed away, is it allowed? And second question is about the fasting in the day of Arafah. Like this year in Canada, we celebrated Eid al-Adha on 22nd of August, whereas in Saudi, the day of Arafah was 20th, and they celebrated on 21st. So here we were kind of confused that which day we'll do the fasting for the day of Arafah, as in Saudi it was 20th, and we are celebrating Eid on 22. So some people, they say they fasted both day, which is Monday and Tuesday, 20 and 21st, as the Eid was on 22nd. And some people, they fast only 28 because the day of Arafah is in Saudi, and we should fast the exact day of Arafah, which is the 20th. So if you clarify these two questions, that would be much appreciated.
All right. Thank you, brother Rizwan from Canada. Very important questions. So the example that I wanted to give is asked by one of the viewers, Umayr Hassan. He says, I'm a follower of the Hanafi madhab. I don't know, I don't do Raf'ul Yadayn. Raf'ul Yadayn refers to saying Allahu Akbar, whether in Takbiratul Ihram or in the movement takbirs, like going for ruku' and rising up from ruku' and going to the third rak'ah, raising the hands during the prayers while saying Allahu Akbar. Is that still right? What does it mean to say I'm Hanafi? By the way, I'm Hanafi. We still have a problem with the sound. Okay? What does it mean that I'm Hanafi? I studied the Hanafi madhab for years. Studied all the principles of jurisprudence according to the Hanafi madhab. Then Allah gave me the opportunity to study Shafi'i, to study other madhahib as well, in order to comprehend the comparative fiqh. It is not befitting for me, after I recognize that the sound opinion is in the Shafi'i madhab, to still say, well, I'm Hanafi, or to find the sound opinion with the vast majority and to say, but I'm Maliki, because I'm Maliki, I do not put my hands right and left in the prayer, just let go. Many examples. So what is the proof that the Prophet ﷺ used to raise his hands in the middle takbir. Many proofs. Take for instance one hadith collected by Imam Bukhari and Muslim. So this is very sound hadith. Narrated by Abdullah ibn Umar ibn Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, a companion who grew up in the shade of the suhbah, the companionship of the Prophet ﷺ. Said, كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يرفع يديه حذو منكبيه إذا قام إلى الصلاة وإذا كبر إلى الركوع إذا كبر للركوع وإذا رفع رأسه من الركوع. The Prophet ﷺ used to raise his hands. There are two different positions. حذو منكبيه, like this, parallel to his shoulders. The other sound proof that shows that, or parallel to his earlobes, like that. This or that, both ways. Whenever he would open the prayers, takbiratul ihram, the very first takbir, this is mandatory. And he said also upon going for ruku', Allahu Akbar, and he would bow down. And upon rising up from ruku'. There are a hadith described upon going to the third rak'ah. The movement takbir is mere recommended according to the vast majority of the fuqaha. So what is wrong with the madhab here in case of Imam Abu Hanifa? There is nothing wrong. Well, he narrated the hadith where Abdullah ibn Mas'ud showed how the Prophet ﷺ used to pray, and he raised his hands only in the beginning takbir, and he didn't in the rest of the prayer. Okay, but we have the sound proofs that show that the Prophet ﷺ used to do that in the movement takbir. What shall I follow? Shall I say because I'm Hanafi, I do not follow the Jumhur? I am Muslim. I follow Prophet Muhammad. In Hajj, the Prophet ﷺ said, خُذُوا عَنِّي مَنَاسِكَكُمْ. So the Hajj rituals, step by step, we shall take it from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Those who have heard some and they didn't hear others, and others heard some and they didn't hear other references. We get together and we compile all the sound references and we do exactly as the Prophet ﷺ used to do. Forget about these differences. They were not at the same time where they have an access to meet and exchange references. They didn't have cell phones, they didn't have social media, they didn't have an access to verify the authenticity of the hadith. So all the hadith which in the Hanafi school of thought, in this particular mas'ala, they relied on weak hadith. And we have Imam Abu Hanifa is saying that if the hadith is proven to be sound, then it's my madhab, end of quote. So what if somebody is teaching a particular madhab in public and he said this is how we do it? What do we say? I go to him and I say, Sheikh, but what about those references? Perhaps he would correct his view and say to the audience later on, and I happen to talk to people several times, the imams or the khatibs, and I said after the khutbah or after the dars, but you know the hadith that you quoted is a fabricated hadith. It's not even a hadith. What are you going to do? Say, inshallah, next khutbah, I will declare to people that I was wrong. Thank you so much. I think that is better, Brother Umar, than coming in public and saying, oh, no, sir. And I make a video to reply to this person. That should be the last stage. Don't do like our brothers in North America, where they keep attacking each other. One video against another video, and wallahu a'lam, what is the intention behind it? But if the intention is sincere, I would talk to that person first. Making a video to correct the other person should be the last resort, and it should be with the utmost politeness for the sake of proving the truth, establishing the facts. We have to end the program, but brother from Canada, quickly, blood donation is permissible for Muslims and non-Muslims. Organ transplantations, and also the day of Arafah in Canada and so on. I'm told, I'm commanded that we ran out of time. So if you allow me, inshallah, to address this next episode and many other questions, pending questions, I would really appreciate it. Brothers and sisters, hope to see you next episode, inshallah. Until then, I leave you all in the care of Allah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance.